Hello. Yay! So glad you guys could join me. Thank you so much. I know it's the middle of the day. It's Friday. We've got a ton to do, so I'm going to try to not keep this super long. But hi from Russia. Oh, hi, Megan. Oh, so good to see you. Okay, so I have a lot of content. I was starting to think about what I wanted to share with you from behind the scenes of my last launch that I did that was really successful. And there's so many things, so I might break this up in like a couple different scopes. But just to introduce myself, my name is Devaney Freeman, and I help heart-centered women in business that are struggling with building their email list and getting it out there on social media to actually make sense of it all, to help them to attract consistent clients and to market authentically and effectively. And I also run a social media management agency. So clients hire me and my team to handle their Facebook ads, their social marketing, their branding, their voice, all of that kind of stuff. So doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes, and I'm really excited to bring you along on my journey with this new tool of Periscope. I think it's so cool. I just love authentic marketing, especially as a personal brand, where you can really put yourself out there and give people a peek into what's going on with your business. Because what we see on the outside world of seeing like beautiful pictures on Instagram and Facebook, I mean, that's great, but what's really going on? What's the struggles that I'm going through that you are probably going through the same thing, or what has helped me that can help you? And when we know that we're not alone in this journey, it makes it so much more enjoyable, right? Thank you for all the hearts. Love you guys. Okay, so let's talk about, I have a little sticky note here. Behind the scenes on my 5-figure program launch or my 80,000 launch. So my program that I launched and currently have running is called the Modern Marketing Academy. And what is great about this program is it's all virtual. So I do it all online. We meet live on calls, and we also have a private Facebook forum. We do have an in-person mastermind, and they get some extra bonuses, and they get some private calls with me or my assistant coaches. And I doubled the size of my members in this round versus the first one. So this is my second round launching it. And I learned so much. It's like every time you do something, every time you get practice makes perfect. So the first time there were so many things that I did wrong, are not necessarily wrong, but probably, I didn't do the next time around. And thank you so much for the hearts. If you guys want to share this with your friends too, I think you swipe to the left if you're on a iPhone or an Android up and share it. I'd appreciate that. Thank you. So let's talk about an online group program. These are great if you are a service-based business. So if you're a coach, or if you do anything where you serve people, you're consulting, you're teaching, perhaps you have an online product, or you're serving people one-to-one right now, and you want to start to leverage your time and your energy by serving one-to-many. And so instead of doing something that would be an in-person workshop, which still works great, if you can put that and use the platform of doing it online, you're gonna reach more people. So a lot of my clients, the first thing they do when we're working together, I wanna launch a group program. I wanna launch a group program. And that's great, but a group program takes so much more work than just getting one-on-one clients. But it's more lucrative. So I wanna share with you the tips that I learned and took away from my event. And hopefully this will help with you as well. So number one is you want to set a firm launch date, okay? And I don't see any comments coming through, so let me know. Are you guys still with me? Is this good? I want to make sure my thing's not frozen at all. Okay. I think there's a little bit of delay. Okay, perfect. Okay, so set a firm launch date. Okay, so you have to set a firm date because you're gonna work backwards. So you wanna allow yourself about 2 months of sales time before that. You even want to allow a little bit more time for list building, but that's a number 3, so hold on. So just set a firm date, okay? Just pick a date. Let's say it's 6 months from now. So you're gonna work backwards. You're gonna know that you're gonna have 2 really solid days of selling the program. You're also gonna have time for marketing that, and then you can continue to actually fill your program while it's running. So I filled mine and continued to let students in up to a month even after it started, because it was only 3 calls for them to catch up on. So I just included a bonus session to get them kicked off. So set a firm date, put it in your calendar, tell your people about it, tell your mastermind friends, announce it to everyone. Number 2, don't worry about creating your content first, okay? I see a lot of this happen where you put in all this time and energy in creating this amazing content, and then the launch flops or nobody's really interested in that. And so you definitely want to study the marketplace. You definitely want to know it's a program, something that your marketplace is asking for. So this is why it's a great idea to be working on building up your social audience and building your email list even before you're selling anything, because you want to ask people what they want. Study what other people in your industry are also doing, industry leaders. See what kind of programs they're coming out with. Why is that? Probably because their marketplace is asking for it. So you never want to copy influencers, but definitely model what they're doing. Okay, so don't worry about creating your content first. You can launch your program. One thing, what I do about webinars when I'm doing a webinar, or even like this, like Periscope, like I don't know exactly what I'm going to say, but I have an idea. But with webinars, I'll put it on my calendar and I'll send an email out to my list that I'm doing a webinar on this date. And then I won't even have the content made at that time. I just know that I want to do it. And so it gets your butt in gear when you set a date and you don't worry about creating the content first. Number 3, you want to start building your list and your audience in advance, okay? So a few of my favorite list building strategies, and for those of you that don't know the term list building, that's building your email database. So you don't own your friends, your fans, your audience on Periscope. You don't own any of those. And at any time, your account could get shut down. Like Chalene Johnson, who had, I think, 325,000 followers on Instagram, had her account hacked the other month. Yeah, Chalene Johnson, okay? So she did eventually get it back, but all of her beautiful content was gone. So you have to remember that you don't own these social platforms. And so you have to insure your business just like you insure yourself with health insurance. And so that is really why I'm a huge believer in list building. And also it's a warm market. So not everybody's going to see everything you post on social media. So it's like that backup plan. We got to touch people in all different places because we're busy. We're doing stuff. We're over here. We're doing that. Like, you never know when somebody's going to see something when they aren't. So start building your list ahead of time, okay? Months and months. If you can do it 6 months ahead of time, that's great. And one of my favorite strategies for building an email list is doing an online challenge. So for example, I have a InstaSpark, an Instagram challenge. So if you go to, I think the link is Devaney Freeman. DevaneyFreeman.com, so just my first and last name, and it is DevaneyFreeman.com / let me grab this, / 10-day InstaSpark challenge. So if you go to DevaneyFreeman.com / 10-day InstaSpark challenge, and if you don't know the URL, you can just hop over and find me on Instagram, and it's right on my description. And you can check out my 10-day challenge and see what I'm talking about. So what's great about a 10-day challenge is it's an awesome freebie. Okay, it's a lead magnet. So it's getting people into your database and getting them introduced to you. And I don't hold back in that challenge. I share everything that I know about Instagram, what I use with my agency clients, what I've learned on other training programs, things like that, and the nuggets that I've taken out, added my own style, and created the 10-day challenge. And so this is a great lead magnet for building your list. And then if you layer on Facebook ads on top of that, you've got a really good party going on. So that's one of my favorite list building strategies is Facebook ads, doing a 10-day challenge. There's a ton of other strategies out there, but that has worked really well for me. And then webinars on top of that. So doing webinars where you're just giving value, and then to drive people to get on the webinars, again, Facebook ads. So number 4, after you're working on building your list, is you want to master the sales conversation. So my first and second group program launch, which my second one, which over the annual year span, because it's a 12-month program, generated $80K gross. So I didn't have a sales page for that, okay? So many people think that they just drive people to a sales page and it just has to look nice and fancy and people are going to purchase, and you don't understand why people are not signing up for your program. Well, if your program that you're selling is over $500, and this is my experience and this is my opinion, but if you're not a big brand like Marie Forleo or Allie Brown or something like that, or Chalene Johnson, if you're not a big name brand like that, it's very, very hard to sell a program over $500 straight from a sales page, okay? So what I've learned, the strategy from what my mentorship has taught me, and also what I've gotten success from, is always driving people to a strategy session where you are giving value, you're authentically learning about someone's business and figuring out if the program is right for them. So it's not like you're just jumping on the phone and selling something. You're really like actually giving them a strategy and a plan. So everything I did, my webinars, off my 10-day challenge, emails to my list, was all call to actions to get people on the phone to do strategy calls. Is it a lot of work? Yes. How many strategy calls did I have to do to get my 20 women into my program? A lot. You know, if you're not very good at sales, sometimes you're doing 100, 150 calls, and I think these are, 30-minute calls. So my schedule was booked solid. And so you prepare ahead of time. This is my launch date. I'm going to be booked solid those 2 months. You tell your friends, you tell your boyfriend, you tell everyone, I'm basically going to be unavailable because this is my hustle time. And you put your head down and you grind and you do it, because now I don't have to do that small amount of work really hard for another year. So it's really how you get leverage, and also you have the pivots in your business of going really busy and hustling, but then giving yourself a little gas pedal, brake pedal, let yourself off the gas a little bit afterwards. So did some traveling and, definitely took some me time and all of that afterwards. But you have to do what most people won't do so you can live the life like most people can't do, right? Who loves that quote? It's one of my favorite. You guys have any questions about this so far? Oh, hi, Elise. Hello. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Let me know, is this resonating with you? And if you're following along. I see lots of hearts. I love the hearts. So pretty. Okay, good. What do you think about giveaways? Giveaways, do you mean where people all contribute to a giveaway, or what do you mean? Do you mean like giving away like an ebook? Clarify a little bit more on that question. And I would love to know how many of you, down with the sales page. Yeah, you know it, girl, Megan, for sure. Where you give away a course. Yes, absolutely. A course, a 3-part video series, anything that you do that you're teaching, you're giving value. and somebody gets a taste of what it's like to work with you before them actually having to invest or buy into anything. So that works well. And then another question was, does this work for network marketing? This absolutely hands down works for network marketing. So Facebook ads went to sign up for a call. No, Facebook ads never went to sign up for a call. It always went to a webinar training, to my 10-day challenge. I never did the ads straight to a call because the conversion price of that will run a lot higher than if I drove them to a lead magnet and then converted them off the end. Can you hire me to do back-end stuff? We can definitely have a conversation for sure and see what you have going on. So you're welcome to email me, Devaney@DevaneyFreeman.com, or just jump over to my site and then fill out the contact form on there. Okay, good. Good questions. I'm more about to give away one place on my paid course. Oh, okay. Yeah, you could do that. You could do like a scholarship or something like that. You could have people like enter to win. So ask them to do specific things, like Marie Forleo had people submit a video, had to be under a certain amount of minutes. And then what she did was had them answer a certain question, and then they had to post that on YouTube, and then they had to share it and get points. So yeah, like a scholarship, that works well too, but that's not a freebie lead magnet. That would just be something that would help to fill your program, which is great. So I would do that, but in addition to the other stuff. Yeah. Okay, so let's move on. I'm just going to repeat for those who are new that jumped on. So I'm kind of showing you behind, yeah, you're welcome. I'm showing you behind the scenes of my 5-figure group program launch and what I learned along the way, and kind of some key things that stood out with that. Number one was, first of all, you have to set a firm launch date and be non-negotiable about it. Have it be at least 3 months out from now. Give yourself adequate amount of time. If you don't have an email list, I would even start a little bit sooner than that. Number two, don't worry about creating your content first. Don't worry about it. First, just worry about getting the audience, marketing it, and then getting people to start signing up so you know that people want to sign up. Emails, my email again is just my first and last name, Devaney@DevaneyFreeman.com, or you can just go to my website, DevaneyFreeman.com. Number three, you want to start building your list and your audience. And one of the best strategies that is working right now in the marketplace is Facebook ads. Driving Facebook ads to a freebie, like a 10-day challenge, to a webinar, to a 3-part video series. My favorite is a 10-day challenge, and then off a 10-day challenge doing a webinar. I also seen them work well for doing like telesummits, where you interview other people, other experts with big lists. It's a little bit more time intensive. So you definitely want to be growing your email list so you have that audience and you have that, the stadium to be able to market to. Number four is master the sales conversation. Do not be putting a lot of time and energy into a sales page, especially if your price point is higher. So the price point for my program was $5,000. So if you're selling a product that's around $200, yeah, you could have a sales page for that. Anything over $500, I recommend, is very hard to sell right off of a sales page. You could sell under a webinar, off of a webinar, I would say if it's under 1,000. But, oh, you're welcome, Megan. Bye. Thank you. But over that, you definitely have to get on a strategy call. So a strategy call is what I refer to as like the sales conversation. So you're giving value and you are helping them lay out a plan, figuring out what their needs are and answering them, and actually legitimately, whether it's giving them a social media audit or whether it's taking a look at their lead magnets they have. Do they need to optimize their website? Like all those things, looking at that and helping in any way that I can, and then giving them an invitation and details about the program, and then working through the objections on the phone, especially when it is an investment of that size. You definitely got to do the sales conversation. Number five. Okay. So this one is really, really, really important. Are you guys ready for this one? I don't know. I don't see hearts. I see hearts. Okay. Oh, I love the hearts. Hearts. Okay. Number 5 is accountability partners. Accountability partners. You have to have people that are your business besties. Megan is one of my business besties that is on here, the hoop gal. But I pay a high level fee to be part of a mastermind. And then I also have mastermind besties, business besties, women that understand this crazy talk of list building and social media. Yes, hey girl. You know, women that understand what we're going through. And towards the end, like the last month of my launch, yes, total help. The last month of my launch, I literally got on the phone with 2 of my business besties and we did a 15-minute accountability call every single morning because they were also doing a program launch at the same time. And it's so great. It's like you don't get, like you're not able to like really dive into much in 15 minutes, but enough to say, this is who I talked to yesterday. This is what I plan to do today. This is what's on my table. Oh, I'm having a problem with this, or I'm feeling really knocked down today, because as it gets towards the end and you're doing so many calls and you're doing webinars and you're marketing, like you're really putting in some long hours, it can get really, really exhausting and tiresome. And you just kind of want to give up and just, 15 is enough or 12 is enough. I don't need to settle. And it's going that extra mile. It's not stopping when most people will. Okay. Yes. The trick is to stop after 15 minutes. Yes, definitely. So what you want to do is definitely have accountability partners. You need to have business besties, and you can either find these through networking locally. You can find these through Facebook. That's how I found a lot of great friends I know today. Definitely investing in a mentor and working with someone. My girls in my Marketing Academy, they're paired up with accountability partners. So I already assign them to people and I say, this is who it is. You guys talk to each other, figure out your own schedule, and you're on your own for managing that. But it's so crucial and it helps out a lot. Yes. Okay, so those are my 5 tips. And like I said, short and sweet for my first one today, being the middle of the day. And, I hate people who kind of drag on with their Periscopes and it's like, just get to the meat and potatoes, right? So thank you all so much. If you want to keep following me, jump on my list or check out my InstaSpark challenge. The best way I would say is to go over to my Instagram, which is just Devaney Freeman, my first and last name, just like my Periscope account here. And in my description there, I have a link to my Instagram challenge right there. So thank you. Have an amazing Labor Day weekend. I'll be back on later this weekend too. And you have a great weekend as well. Thanks. Bye, ladies.